Hey guys, how are you? It's Renata. Okay, so I'm not in my hyper state per se today, but I thought I'd come over here to chat with you about self-worth, deserving, feeling deserving, and all those fun things. The reason of this is because I was in this spiritual retreat over the weekend, really short one, but I'm still feeling like all this energy is still flowing, and I was resisting it actually, and I'll tell you a story in a second. But back to the self-worth and feeling deserving. This might sound really simple and kind of going back to the basics, but every single thing that works and that helps you change is simple. It's like really breaking down things and going to the basics. It's like you will not feel self-worthy, or worthy at all, or feeling deserving of some good things. And you will not feel worthy of someone else's company if you're not feeling worthy in your own company. In other words, the way you treat yourself, what you do in your spare time, how you do things, even sometimes what you eat dictates how worthy or deserving you feel. It's simple. There is nothing complicated. And what I'm trying to tell you is you should not complicate things, because every time it goes back to the same simple things. What you do with yourself, how you treat yourself, what you think about yourself, how you love yourself. So no matter how you twist and turn things, it goes back to self-love, self-care, right? So if you have no love for yourself, how can you feel deserving? Every single thing you do would seem probably that you have to do. You don't have to do anything. It's always a choice, and you know that. I've been repeating this for a long time. It's always a choice what you do, right? And what choices you make. So if you're someone who tries to get approval all the time, or respect from others, or others to treat you well, you gotta have respect first for yourself. Hey Rimbin, say hi if you guys jumping on here. So start with this. You gotta respect first yourself. You gotta love yourself. Otherwise, there's no way you can build this self-worth and deserving feeling. There's no freaking way. And I'm one of the examples of that. And am I 100% there? Not always. Because I'm the same human as you are. And I said that it's going to be a lot of vulnerable video here, because I am the same way as everyone else. The biggest difference between me and someone else, and majority I would say, is that I know when my vibration, my energy goes down, and I am able to shift that in no time. Because I know how, and I know what is the root cause of all this, and I know where it's all coming from. Okay, so all you need to do is figure out who you are. That's the beginning step. Okay, figure out what you're doing, what you're not doing, and in relation to you personally, why you're not loving yourself, why it doesn't exist in your world, and simply construct the steps whenever you have this downtime, what you can do about it. As simple as that. You don't need anyone else's approval. The first approval you need, actually, is to have your own approval. Because if you don't feel deserving of some things, you don't approve of yourself. You don't think you're good enough to do certain things or achieve certain things. And you don't need to have the standards really high up, because you have the standards, right? You have values and everything else. It's just, if you're setting them way too high and you know that you're here, but your standards are up there, how in the world are you reaching them? And every time you kind of disappoint yourself by that huge gap, you're going back into lack of worthiness. So instead of setting the standard there, set it like one step above where you are right now, what you have right now, what you're doing right now. If you don't treat yourself well, let's say, take food, okay? If you don't eat well, let's say, and I'm not talking like going vegan or going vegetarian, like to have all this cooling. I mean, it's good if you're into this lifestyle, but it doesn't mean that you have to go that route, okay? So it's the same way like if you're eating junk food all the time, going to McDonald's, Burger King, whatever else, every single day. What you can do, I mean, you're not gonna just like turn around overnight and start eating like really clean, healthy food. So just give yourself a break, okay? Just, okay, tell like, if you're really into that kind of food, just tell yourself like twice a week, I'm gonna try, do my best, cook for myself, eat healthier, go exercise. Take one step at a time. Take one step up. Don't do the whole mile up because you will get disappointed, and that's not the goal of it. Make sense? So the reason I wanted also to jump in here because, like I said, I was going to go to the retreat, and that retreat was going to be hosted by two shamans. I don't know if you know about those or not. So basically the spiritual retreat. And since I've never done that before, and they were going to do the ceremony and healing and everything, and I started doubting in me because, of course, I have fears like everyone else. I'm the same human as you are. But some fears came up for me. Now, let me tell you how I dealt with them, okay? I made every single excuse possible on earth not to sign up for the retreat. It wasn't really about the money at all. It was about me putting myself and being vulnerable in that particular setting because I knew that I would need to go deep and go into places that I was not feeling super comfortable with. Yes, I have those corners too. So I made every single excuse that my daughter is with me over the weekend and everything else. And guess what happened? All those excuses were kind of denied, negated, I would say, in super short amount of time because I tried to figure out why exactly I feel resistant there, okay? And deep down inside, I really wanted to go because I wanted to clean myself even more and heal myself and just grow more, right? So I had this all good intentions, but some kind of fear was holding me back, right? And it just so happened that my intentions were stronger than the fear, okay? Because what happened is my daughter was invited to a birthday party, sleepover, okay? So I'm like, okay, you just giving me like this opportunity. I was talking to me and the universe. And I mean, scheduling was one of the issues that I had a problem with. So that disappeared, right? Because she was going overnight. So, I mean, I had all the time I needed, right? And I talked to shamans, to hostess, and they assured me they're going to be there for me. And they assured me that they're going to follow every single step that I needed to go through. So all the fears were negated. There was not a single thing left in my mind that would prohibit me from going except the self-created things. Like, I don't need this, I can do it on my own. Yes, I can do this on my own. But would you rather go through the process yourself and it would take like a week or a month or whatever else it might take, whatever amount of time? Or you could do that like in several hours. And that would create huge vibration uplift. So I went through the process of like weighing options down and confronting my own fears. So that's how you do that. And going back to self-worth and deserving, that was an act of self-care and self-love because I was doing things for me. Okay? So that's how you start feeling deserving. Okay? That's how you start feeling worthy because you start treating yourself with respect and with worthiness and being worthy of your own company. Okay? Makes sense? I mean, everything you do for yourself is going to take you that step up, that level up towards how you want other people to treat you, how you want to feel deserving or not deserving. Make sense? So what you see even now, I'm not looking perfectly now. And honestly, I don't care. All I wanted to do here today is just to pass the message on to you, how you can change things. And that you need to start with those simple things and going back to you again. Going back to you because how you see me and what you think of me personally, it doesn't matter. And it has nothing to do with me. Because you will judge or you will perceive things and you will see things about me or you think things about me the way you see the world. So it has nothing to do with me. You have to realize that. Because you have certain filters, like me, like everyone else, right? And you either have those filters kind of clear or not. It's like I'm wearing glasses and I'll look through the glasses through every single thing, through my experience, through my programming, through everything. Through the things that I've been taught, like you were. And it's just a matter if you clean that filter or not, if you clean those glasses that you have or not. So if you think that someone else is responsible for you feeling deserving or worthy, no, it's just you. It's just the same way that you have that perception and beliefs created inside of you by someone else. Because guess what? All those beliefs that you carry now, they were created either by your experiences through your own things. Like, okay, let's say you, what example can I give you? Okay, you touched the hot stove. Okay, you got burned. Next thing you know, you will be careful about going close to that hot stove. Why? Because there was a strong emotion created and there was strong pain, probably, right? So another way you create beliefs is by someone else telling you who has authority in your life. And I'm talking probably back into your childhood, early years. Someone telling you how you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to do things, what believe in, that red is red, it's not yellow, right? How did you learn that red color, what it looks like, it's called red? Because someone told you that. Someone, your mom, dad, your teacher, whoever that was, someone just engraved that in your brain. Because every time you made a mistake and called red yellow, you were probably corrected, and that came through the repetition. So the authoritative figure, your own experiences, and the repetition of everything. And again, if you're coming by, jumping on, just say hi and tell me, how's everything? Okay, I want to chat with you. It's just not me doing the monologue. I'll come here because I love you guys and I want to chat and I want to share my knowledge and experience with you. So, well, that's how it is. That's how beliefs created, and that's how we have this programming. So going back again to worthiness and deserving, that's the only thing. That's the only way you can shift it. If you shift your perception about you, that's what you need to do. So how you know if that's your root cause about self-worth and feeling not deserving, what's your thoughts and your emotions? When someone, oh, during that retreat, by the way, that's one of the examples of how you can notice how worthy or deserving you feel. We were sitting at the huge fireplace, right? And one of the guys, I was coming to the fire pit, right, just to sit down, and there were those logs there, and they were so close to the fire, and it was so hot. And I'm like, I want to push it a little back, but still I want to be at the fireplace, but not, so I'm not that hot, okay? And one of the guys just jumped out his seat, and he ran almost to the area I was standing, and he started like fixing the log, so helped me to push it back. And I'm like, and he put it like in the perfect spot, and so it doesn't wiggle, nothing. I mean, he was so caring and everything. And I'm like, thank you. I really appreciate you. Really did a great job. So I gave him my appreciation of the work that he did for me, though he didn't really have to. It was his choice to help someone out, right? You know what his first reaction was? Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. And I'm like, what the hell? And I knew he had a little like issue with it being worthy and feeling deserving, because it's just my observation. And I'm like, no, you should accept, you should learn to appreciate like someone giving you a compliment. And you should take it in like with all the heart. It's not me, I don't need the compliment, okay? I'm expressing appreciation for you, so you did something good. You need to learn to take this thing, to accept the compliment, and to feel good about it, not being embarrassed that someone complimented you. And that's exactly what happened at that moment. So he stood up there for a second. He's like, you're right. I don't know how to accept a compliment, even being like a man. And like some women have this issue too. I'm like, someone tells you that you're looking great, and they're like, oh, it's nothing. Or someone tells you like you're doing a great job, it's nothing. No, it is something, because another person appreciates what you do. It's just you that don't appreciate what you do. See the difference? So you gotta learn to appreciate every single thing you are able to do. The way you look, the way you dress. You're not doing usually for someone else unless you really have self-confidence issues, self-esteem issues. But you gotta learn that. Do the small steps. Like I was telling one of my clients, and you know if you're watching who you are, to dress up. Dress up for her. Not for anyone else, for her. Put makeup on. Just so she feels good when wearing those nice clothes or putting the nice makeup. And just go to the crowded places and appreciate every single compliment that they receive, that she receives. Put herself out there. I'm not telling you to ask for the compliments, but that receiving, accepting the compliment is a big step for most of us. Me coming from, I'm originally from Europe, okay? So the environment I grew up with was that you kind of feel almost embarrassed, or always like putting yourself down and putting the others in front of you. Basically, you're pushing yourself behind everyone else. So for me, I also had to learn how to say thank you for the same compliment someone complimented, because honestly, I never believed. I never believed I looked good, even if when I dressed up or put the makeup and just looking all the chic and stuff. I never believed that they were telling me the truth. You know why? Because I had this shitty filter on me that I'm not good enough. You gotta change how you think about you. And this is probably the longest life I've done talking by myself and all this kind of fun stuff. So I hope you have a more clear picture of how you need to get this done, okay? That you don't need respect from anyone else. First, you need to be respected and appreciated and have approval from you. Clean that perception, how you see you and what you do for yourself. Look, just make a list of things you do for you, how you treat yourself. Do you put yourself down every single time something doesn't happen the way you want? Um, do you say thank you for the same compliment? Do you like your own company? Or you always need to be around people, among someone who lifts you up or who compliments you all the time so you feel good about yourself. Start with you, okay? That's the only way and the fastest way up. Okay? Good? Again, if you're watching this, just say hi. I would love to hear from you and tell me what you're doing to build that self-worth, feeling deserving. Okay? And start with self-care and self-love. And I'll see you soon in our group, okay?